So I had like a car problem, and I had to get my mom's to take me to my car. But then she had we had like a heart to heart, and she cried, saying that she's sorry for being a bad parent, for hitting me when I was a kid and all that stuff, how it stemmed from her father and how he treated her, which is crazy, because like my last memory of my grandfather, when I was like 4, I was like play fighting with my cousin, and I guess we were too loud or something, but he comes out of nowhere and gets like those copper clothes hangers, and I think it was I remember it was something like made out of copper or like a metal thing. I don't know, bro, but he snapped on us. He's on me and his my cousin. My cousin was actually his son. It was the same age as me. My grandpa had a kid that was the same age as me. Beat the hell out of us with that thing. So he was like, that's the first thing he did. Instead of telling us to stop, he just hit the hell out of us. I remember that so vividly because it was so painful. And that was actually just how he parented in general. And my mom's thought that's how she had a parent too. Which, well, she has a good heart. Okay, so I think, now that I think back to it, there was like a lot of trauma in terms of that. But like, you gotta look at how where they came from. And it's crazy, man. The Vietnam War, them having to move out from wherever they had to move out. Actually, prior to that, my grandpa, he saved up a lot of money in Laos, and the government had a change of power to another regime, and they just disowned all the money, all the ledgers that was associated with the prior regime was all rendered useless. So everything that he saved up he probably saved up so much money, like so much, I don't know the amount, but it was so significant that it was all for nothing. And they just replaced it with like $2,000 worth with the new money. And I think for some reason, I feel that destroyed him, like created some anger, anger with the world. And maybe that was just part of our family's curse. I don't know if it's a curse, but it felt something like that. But that travels with you, with your family. Yeah, but I've gone through like a connection with myself, a connection with things, with my soul, I guess. And I've learned to forgive a lot of things, even in hard times. I still look towards God, even in the hard times. And I just had like an awakening. Maybe like when, I'm telling you, it's that girl, like, I don't know. I got next to this girl, and she just triggered something in me. I don't even talk to her, so I'm very curious to see what that's about. I think that did something, but since then, which was like a month ago, I've been healing myself inside, just being forgiving of anything that gave me trauma or negative emotions. I felt a lot of forgiveness, especially with my mindset of being like present, gratitude, all that. I was able to just look deep into myself and just kind of let it go. And that heart to heart that I had with my mom, I was able to tell her that I did forgive her. I actually forgave her a long time ago, like a month ago. And then, but it felt like so long ago because I feel like such a different person. It's kind of incredible, actually. And then my dad, he has an interesting story too. He was escaping. Well, the war was happening. He swam through the river with his best friend, to escape. Like, I don't know what happened, but they had to swim across the river, and then they got captured by like the Thailand military, got put in a camp, and because the conditions was too dangerous, they couldn't send him back to his family. So they just sent them to America. And he was just him and his best friend. They're like 13, 14. Yo, you just got separated from your family at 13. You don't see your dad, your brother. He has brothers. I think he has a sister. I don't know. And all you have is your best buddy. But because they didn't want to get separated, they shared the same last name. So they just made up a last name, which is my last name, Anotai. And just to come to America. So Anotai is that made up last name. I don't even know what our real family name is. And there's only like a few of us, a few people named Anotai, running around Anotai in this entire world, like a handful of people. And so that's interesting. And he's coming, so he didn't know anything either about parenting, because he didn't have a parental figure. He had to be on his own forever. So yeah, my dad, he was never like, he was always there, but he never was involved. It was just like, he let my mom do most of the work, but he was there. And if you ask him anything, he'll tell you, but he'll always give you like advice that just seems irrelevant to what you need. But he met it in good. He met good faith, good intentions out of it. I don't know, it's just the power of forgiveness. I don't even know if this is a video I should even be talking about. It was very, it's very interesting that, I guess, I can't be the only one that has like parental like very tension in the dynamics of the family. But I appreciate that my mom was willing to talk like that. So I felt that healing. I don't know, man. Ever since I found myself inside, I feel like I have such good energy now. Like, I think people can open up to me. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it, but it seems like that. Every time I take people in the car with me when I'm Ubering, they always gotta tell me everything about their life almost. I always have something to say about it too, and it seems like it helps them. And I think my mom felt the same thing. And I think we just went through some good healing, and that assisted in my shadow work too. So maybe good things is gonna happen. Okay, this is just like a journal entry, to be honest. Kind of just sitting out here to myself. I don't know if you guys are going through anything, but yeah. I don't know, she talked about how having Obi, my son, come in here, changed the way she saw things. She's like, it makes her regret how she raised us. Because you can see that if you just love your son, he responds well. Just having unconditional love. Just love. Like my son, he was playing the drums. It sounded awful. He was like, but he had like the whole, he was like, it looked like he knew what he was doing. And then he's like, Dad, did that sound good? And I said, no, it sounded bad. And he looked at me with like a sad face. And then I said, but I still loved it. I still loved it. And I saw him uplift. We're just happy. I was like, sometimes all it is, man. Sometimes you could just love somebody. Even if what they're doing doesn't sound good, doesn't feel good at the time, but you can still love somebody. And I don't know, it just feels very powerful. Can't really explain it. I don't know if this video is even like worth putting up on the internet, but I guess I gotta get it out of my chest. And sometimes people don't see this part of me, and it's probably like that for everybody. Everybody's got their own little issues. You could just say like, maybe this is my therapy. But I forgive you. I forgive you, Mom. Thank you. And I'm grateful. You're doing your best. We're all doing, we're all doing good, right? As long as there's love. As long as we're not like holding on to it, holding on to that pain. You just gotta just realize it for what it is, acknowledge it, and then let it pass, and it opens you up to be present. And that's the key. We have to be present and just appreciate and love everything, even the challenges that shape you, that shape us. Can't live with it, You're just gonna cause pain. So maybe I could break this, whatever that pain is, from our family by sharing this new mindset and just taking it with me forward. Thank y'all for listening. God bless.